All right, time to check out the California weather forecast. So, as you can see, at the station right now. I've been doing some live hits today. It's my first time out in the field live, and I put together a little story that's a water update on California. I'll also upload that video to this channel later. Now, what I wanted to do right now, though, is I haven't really looked at the forecast over the last 2 days just because I've been putting together that water update story. But I do know that there's some rain coming in right now. It's already starting across the state. So I want to put together one of those short form videos for the station. But I figure while I'm figuring out what the forecast is, I might as well go live so we can all kind of see what's going on together. And the best place to start is always the satellite imagery. Pretty classic storm right here. You see the counterclockwise circulation around the low, and then it's pulling in that moisture from the south, and then you see the increase in cloud cover over the last few hours. I can almost guarantee that we're seeing something on the radar right now. So we'll go over to National Weather Service. It looks like the heaviest stuff is just off of the coast right now, and I'm most likely going to be getting rained on during my live hits. I'm going to be live at, I think, 5 and 6, and it's probably right when this heavy rainfall is going to be. It's moving pretty quickly. It'll probably be past by then, but there will be more waves coming through. So it looks like some heavy rain might be on the way to the North Bay and potentially San Francisco right now. If you were to follow that blob of heavy rainfall right there as it moves north. So notice it's coming from the south. This is going to be a little bit warmer of a storm than our previous ones, which were coming down from the north. That's why those ones brought some temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below average and widespread snowfall. Last we were looking at the models, the snow didn't look as widespread with this one. Now, the first thing we do before we we'll check out the overall California map, get an idea, and then we'll go into some of the warnings. And then we'll actually break down the exact timing and totals. So remember, there's two systems here. There's the one coming in right now, and then there's another one coming in on Sunday. This is the one coming in right now for the most part. There are some lingering showers on Saturday. In the red for Northern California, overall I'd say this looks like more rain than the models were looking like 2 days ago. So we've trended up on the storm coming in right now. And then with the Sunday storm that looked to be the bigger of the two, yeah, we could have some decent rainfall totals by the end of the weekend into the middle of next week. Notice 2 to 3 inches even down in Southern California. Some spots in Northern California I'm seeing maybe 3 to 5 inches. And Santa Cruz Mountains there, you see the little yellow blob. What about snow? So let's take a quick look at the snow. And click through. There's the first system. I'd say a little more rain than was originally shown. And then for the second one, I'd say the models have been fairly consistent with snow. It's not as widespread as some of those cold storms, just because this one's warmer, so it makes your snow levels go up. But we are seeing some orange there, which could be into the 2 to 3 foot range. So now let's check out the National Weather Service to see what kind of warnings we have. And we are now seeing some warnings pop up. So it looks like we have some flood watches. Oh, this is a nice little timeline. This is a perfect graphic to start out with. This might tell me everything I need to know to put together that little short form video. Friday evening, moderate rain in the afternoon and evening, heaviest in the North Sacramento Valley and foothills with wet, high elevation mountain snow. Notice high elevation because this air is coming in from the south. Saturday to Sunday AM, moderate to heavy rain. Interesting. Wet, high elevation mountain snow with snow levels around 6,000 to 6,500 feet. Yep, much higher than the 2,000 foot snow levels we had, I think, last Tuesday, Wednesday. Sunday PM, that's the brunt of the storm. Heavy rain in the valley and foothills, gusty winds, and moderate to heavy wet snow in the mountains with rising snow levels to 6,500 to 7,500 feet. And then on Monday, we have showery and gusty weather continues, thunderstorm potential in the valley, snow levels still quite high. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, showers and snow gradually decreasing. So looks like Sunday night is going to be the bulk of this storm, although Friday through Sunday morning, there is still the chance for some heavy rain out there. So storm number 1, precipitation, Seeing some spots 2 to 3 inches, 3 to 4 inches. Throughout much of the Central Valley, 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. Then number 1 snowfall, seeing 12 to 18 inches right there at Donner Peak, I believe that is. And then moderate snow impacts expected. What about storm number 2? There's your rainfall totals. It still looks like more rain for storm number 2. Maybe it's just more widespread rain for storm number 2. You're not seeing as many of those bullseyes that show 3 to 4 inches. It actually looks like now more rain is expected in the northwestern parts of California with this first storm. And then the second one, you're not seeing as much of that red, but you are seeing more spots in, let's say, the Central Valley that are 1 to 1.5 inches. That is interesting, though. It almost looks like the 2 storms switched. Before, Friday was the weaker of the 2, Sunday was the stronger one. And now, I don't know, if you click back and forth between those 2, storm number 1 certainly looks like it has more rainfall associated with it. And then storm number 2, maybe more of a southern Sierra type storm. That's where you see the 18 to 24 inches. So, yeah, we'll pick up some decent snow, but it's at some pretty high levels. And then in terms of warnings, we have the flood watch over here. Not a big surprise considering they bumped up some of those rain totals expected today. The flood watch is, this is for storm number 2. You notice flood watch in effect from Sunday afternoon through late Monday night. Flooding caused by excessive rainfall is possible. And yeah, so a lot of rainfall can overflow your creeks and rivers. So that is storm number 2. Interesting they don't have that for storm number 1 when their precip models were showing more. Oh, maybe it's because more of that rainfall can absorb and it's spread out perhaps over a longer period of time. Whereas when storm number 2 comes around, we're already going to have some saturated soils. We're already going to have some high creeks and rivers because of storm number 1. So that's maybe why they have the flood watch for Sunday through Monday. Then looking at the winter storm warning, we have in effect from 10 p.m. this evening to 10 p.m. on Monday. Heavy snow possible, 8 to 16 inches between 6,000 and 7,000 feet with 1 to 3 feet above 7,000 feet. Winds could gust as high as 45 miles per hour. So some tricky travel. That's, I'd say, the main impacts right there, but it's definitely not reaching as low of levels as the previous storms. So that's a lot of good information right there. Actually, let's check out just the quick forecast summary. I feel like we got a good idea of it, but I always like to read these. So, an active weather pattern arrives late this evening, persisting through the weekend and into early next week. Periods of moderate to heavy valley and foothills rainfall and isolated thunderstorms will lead to rises on area rivers, as well as flooding on small streams and poor drainage areas. Additionally, heavy, wet, high elevation snow levels of 6,000 feet or greater, snow will result in mountain travel impacts. Periods of heaviest precipitation with these systems are expected Saturday afternoon and evening, then Sunday night through Monday morning, respectively. So that's, I'd say, enough with the words. Let's go check out some maps now. So let's just go right into Northern California. There's the rain coming in right when I'm going to be doing my live hit between the 5 and 7 o'clock. That's our time frame. It looks to be when the first front comes on, and there's definitely some periods of heavy rainfall with that. And then you see the snow move up into the Sierra, high elevation Sierra, by 1 a.m. Saturday. And then throughout the day Saturday, yeah, we do still have the potential for some heavy rainfall, but overall, it looks like it's some lingering light to moderate showers. Consistent, though, I would say. And then now that we get into Sunday, for a brief period, it doesn't look like it's as widespread, but then we're going to see that next front come through. This is now 7 p.m. Saturday night. You notice some heavy rainfall returning, and then that's going to continue. This is now all the way into 10 a.m. on Monday. And then we finally see it move up into the Sierra, 10 p.m. Monday, and then it starts to maybe ease up on Tuesday before maybe another system Tuesday night. I think that's way too far off in the forecast, though, so we'll wait to cross that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, it looks like it's less defined, like two systems now. It looks like it's more just continuous rainfall from right now all the way into Monday afternoon, Monday evening. So we're not going to see as much of a wave pattern when we look at these rainfall totals right here. It just looks like they continually go up and up. But these are larger totals than when we looked at these maps a couple of days ago. San Francisco now saying close to 3 inches. Same for Santa Rosa, Fort Bragg, Chico 3.8, Redding 3.3, Sacramento 2.5, Stockton around 2 inches. So that is more rain than we were looking at 2 days ago. And I think the main reason for that is this storm number 1 seems like it's going to bring more rainfall throughout the day Saturday than was originally expected. When we looked at the models last time, it looked like Saturday, there's like a few lingering showers out there. Now it actually looks like the heavy rain could continue through Saturday as well. Now let's check out the total snowfall on this. Clicking through, there's storm number 1, seeing some purple there, which would be 1 to 2 feet of snow, and then even some orange by midweek next week, which would be maybe 2 to 3 feet of snow. Again, mostly up above 6,000 to 7,000 feet though. Now let's check out Southern California. Then I should probably wrap it up pretty quickly so I have time to make the short form video. Southern California, maybe some heavy rain moving through overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. Just some lingering showers throughout the day tomorrow. Looks to be maybe some moderate to heavy rainfall at times as we get into tomorrow night. And then let's see what happens with that Sunday storm. This is the one that looked bigger for Southern California. Yeah, that looks to be a better chance for heavy rainfall moving down into Southern California. That's at 10 a.m. on Monday, especially from LA down to San Diego. And then still lingering showers all the way through Tuesday afternoon. So let's check out the SoCal rain totals. Clicking through here. We'll just go all the way. So Salinas, 1.8. That's more than models were showing last time. Los Angeles, 1.5 inches. But it looks like the numbers that really jumped up were down by San Diego. San Diego now expected to have 3.8 inches of rain. Oceanside, around 3 inches of rain. Bakersfield, 1.7. So there may be some flooding with this, but overall I would say it's good because it's spread out over a decent period of time. And we haven't seen that much rain this year. We're technically below average right now. That's basically what my story is about that I put together for tonight's news. So we could use some rainfall, but we're in a pretty good position in terms of water. And for California right now, for two main reasons. We still have leftover water from last year, and then we do still have a couple more months in the rainy season. And based on the forecast models right now, it certainly looks like we're switching into a wetter pattern. So that's what the Southern Sierra is looking like. Yeah, it's over 1, potentially 2 feet of snow right there. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there, just so I hopefully have time to put together the short form video as well. I'd say the overall summary, storm number 1, the one that's moving in right now, looks to be a little bit bigger than the models were showing a couple days ago. Now expecting maybe 3 to 5 inches up in the higher elevations and in the north coast. Flood watch up there. We do have a winter storm warning up in the Sierra. And then even Southern California could get 2 to potentially 4 inches of rain with this one. So we'll definitely be watching this system closely. I'll have maybe a more comprehensive update tomorrow where we'll really dive into that second storm moving in. So hopefully you learned something throughout the course of this video. Stay tuned for the more concise version and then also my water update story. I'll probably have that posted by tonight. So thanks for watching and hope you enjoy some beneficial rainfall out there, but always stay safe.